The Border Patrol in South Texas has long been on the front line of the fight to keep undocumented immigrants from entering the country.
But now the government is preparing for a different kind of fight, and those who live in border towns will be on the other end of that battle.
Fox 7's Jennifer Kendall traveled to the border to bring us this special report.
This land goes all the way till the end.
This 16-acre property in Los Ebanos is rich in history.
We suffered so much working there on those fields. We were migrants.
Family history.
It's going to be 58 grandchildren.
It's been owned by Aurora Trigo Flores' family since before she was even born.
Over 100 years.
But as they say, it's all about location. And for Flores, that's been both a blessing and a curse. Because this land, which has been passed down through the generations, backs up to the Rio Grande River.
It's very dangerous.
Flores says seeing undocumented immigrants in her neighborhood used to be a regular occurrence.
They would just cross across our land. And they would just say, buenos dias, buenos dias. And we would just let them go by.
But an increased Border Patrol presence,
The Border Patrol, they just went by.
along with some new technological upgrades, have cut down on the number of people crossing to her riverbank.
Not your land, there's no way they can cross because it's so deep, the people will just fall back into the river.
The government isn't convinced. In January, Flores' husband gave her the bad news.
He said, you need to listen because it says here that they're going to be taking your land away.
A letter from the U.S. government sent to Flores under the Secure Fence Act of 2006 informed her they plan to use 1.2 acres of her property to build a border wall.
I don't think we need this wall in this area.
And in return, the government will pay the Flores family $2,900.
We're going to be getting about $50 for every grandchild.
In her opinion, that's far too cheap for land so rich in history.
No, we wouldn't want to sell it or give it to anybody.
But it seems President Donald Trump believes security is worth a little sacrifice.
I will build a great, great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall. Mark my words.
He says criminal undocumented immigrants are pouring over the U.S.-Mexico border.
All you have to do is speak to the Border Patrol. They'll tell you we have some terrible people coming in, not only from Mexico, they're flowing through Mexico, through the border, but they're coming from all over.
About 125 miles west of the small town of Los Ebanos here in Laredo, the mayor says he is very concerned about border security, but he does not support the idea of a physical wall along the Rio Grande River. Instead, he suggests a different option.
And we're proposing a virtual wall.
Laredo Mayor Pete Sines says it would be more practical to create additional roads close to the border to make it more accessible for Border Patrol. He points out that cleaning up the brush on both sides of the river would help with visibility, and believes an increased use of technology, as well as more boots on the ground, could lessen response times.
Yeah, I would say let's try this virtual concept first, and then if for whatever reason it doesn't work, then maybe consider something more drastic.
But more drastic still wouldn't mean a physical wall, if you ask Sines, because building that kind of structure would impact more than border security.
We have creeks that empty into the river. We have livestock and wildlife that actually make use of the river water for drink.
Flores says it would threaten human lives as well, because towns like Los Ebanos that sit in a horseshoe bend on the Rio Grande have been known to flood in the past.
It's going to become a flooded area, flooded village. There's no way that they're going to be able to stop the water.
In that situation, Flores fears those stuck on the wrong side of the wall would have no way out.
Because you will drown people.
That's why Flores says people in Los Ebanos hope this is one promise the president doesn't keep.
Look, it's very simple. We have to have a wall.
In this area, nobody wants a wall.
It's not conducive, and it's impractical, frankly.
For those who live on the border, safety is a major concern, but so is compassion.
Some folks don't need to be here. Some folks are the bad guys, so to speak. Obviously, we all want them out. But there's a lot of good people too that came to this country for a better life, like most of our parents.
For Flores, it was her great-grandparents who moved their whole lives to South Texas. Although they are long gone, their history lives on right here. And Flores hopes it stays that way.
Maybe it's going to take them 10 more years to figure out what's going to happen.
In South Texas, Jennifer Kendall, Fox 7 News.
Now, Flores says she does not intend to hire an attorney to fight the government over her land.
She doesn't want to spend the money in court because she says the government can take her land by eminent domain anyway, and then she wouldn't even get the compensation that she was offered.